Watch him go here, Gout Gout. He's already got the stagger, so he moves right on past Chase Grant, and now we really start to open him up. So let the legs loose and let the kid run. He is absolutely gone. He is Gout of this world.
What if we told you a 17-year-old from Australia just did something no one in his age group has ever done? Gout Gout isn't a household name yet, but one jaw-dropping run changed everything. In just 200 meters, he sent shockwaves through the entire athletics world. The question isn't if he'll go further, it's how far and how fast. Gout Gout was born in Australia, but comes from a proud South Sudanese background. From a young age, he stood out, not just because of his name, but because of his speed. Coaches started noticing he wasn't like the other kids. He moved smoother, quicker, and with a kind of calm power that was rare. He started running track seriously in his early teens, but it didn't take long before people around him realized this kid was going to be something special. His early races showed promise. Even before he hit the national stage, Gout was already clocking better times than runners 2 or 3 years older. His natural talent didn't go unnoticed. Soon, he was winning state meets, gaining attention from national scouts, and getting coverage in local sports media. But nobody was ready for what came next. In 2024, Gout lined up for the 200-meter dash at the Australian All-Schools Championships in Brisbane. The crowd was quiet, the gun fired. Gout took off like a rocket. When he crossed the line, the clock read 20.04 seconds.
And now we really start to open him up. So let the legs loose and let the kid run. He is absolutely gone. He is Gout of this world.
That wasn't just fast. That smashed Peter Norman's 56-year-old Australian record of 20.06 seconds, a record that had stood since the 1968 Olympics. The 16-year-old had just broken Australia's oldest remaining athletics record and became the second fastest U18 sprinter in history behind only American Ariane Knighton. But the records didn't stop there. Earlier in 2024, Gout had already turned heads at the World Athletics U20 Championships in Peru, where he ran 20.60 seconds to win silver, a time that was 0.01 seconds faster than what Usain Bolt ran at age 15.
Walaza now, Gout Gout starting to roll, just too late. It is the double for Bayanda Walaza. Gout Gout gave a glimpse of why he is a name for the future.
Lots of teens are fast, but Gout is something else. He runs with insane control. His arms stay relaxed, his breathing smooth, and his legs turn over like machine parts. He doesn't panic, he doesn't flinch, he's smooth, focused, and freakishly efficient. Experts say he runs like someone much older, like he's been on the world stage for years. That level of calm under pressure, it's not normal, it's elite. When you watch him run, you can see something special, something that can't be taught. It's like he was born to fly. Gout trains with a strong team and works under top coaches in Australia, but it's not just about running fast in practice. He focuses on the details, his form, his start, his nutrition, even his sleep schedule. Everything is built around one goal, speed, and it's paying off. Coaches say he listens, learns fast, and brings a quiet fire to every workout. He doesn't brag, he just works. Some insiders say his training includes high-speed treadmill sessions, resistance band drills, and strength training to develop explosive power. He also works on flexibility and injury prevention, something many young athletes overlook. But here's the thing that really matters. While other kids his age are thinking about weekend plans, Gout is thinking about how to run faster. That's the difference between good and great. Gout Gout isn't just a sprinter, he's also becoming a role model. With his South Sudanese roots, he's inspiring kids who don't always see themselves in the spotlight. He's proof that with talent, work, and belief, anything is possible. At every meet, young fans ask for photos. He always stops, always smiles. He knows he's running for more than medals. He's running for a new generation. Even schools have started inviting him to speak to students. His story is being used to teach lessons about hard work, focus, and never giving up. He's humble, respectful, and grounded, traits that make him even more likable. Kids who never cared about running are now asking their parents to sign them up for track teams. That's the power of having a hero who looks like you. It might sound wild, but people are already asking, is Gout Gout the next Usain Bolt? Sure, it's early, But when you become the fastest teenager in your country's history before you can even vote, people start paying attention. And just like Bolt, he runs with joy, he smiles, he celebrates, he makes it look easy. But here's the truth. Gout doesn't want to be the next anybody. He wants to be the first Gout Gout. And that's even more exciting, because when someone is trying to create their own legacy instead of copying someone else's, magic happens. The media went crazy. CNN called it a stunning half-lap run. World Athletics described him as powering to his record-breaking performance. Reuters reported how the tall 16-year-old won the race by a good margin and compared him to Jamaican sprint great Usain Bolt. Even Gout himself seemed shocked by what he'd accomplished. I didn't expect it to be that fast, but I guess I ran Australia's fastest ever time in the 200, he told The Guardian after the race. I have been chasing that record, but I didn't think it would come this year. I thought maybe next year or the year after that. Scouts are watching. Brands are calling. The world wants to know what this young star will do next. And Gout? He's just getting started. Even global track legends like Michael Johnson and other Olympic champions have mentioned his name in interviews. That kind of recognition puts pressure on young athletes, but Gout seems built for it. But Gout wasn't done making history. In March 2025, competing at the Queensland State Championships, he ran a world-leading time of 20.05 seconds in the heats. Then in the final, he did something no Australian had ever done. He broke the 20-second barrier with a time of 19.98 seconds. The only problem? Illegal wind conditions meant it couldn't count as an official record.
Gout Gout has broken the magical 20-second barrier as he took the 200-metre title at the Australian Athletic.
Gout Gout just cracked the 200-metre barrier like never before. He didn't just break records, he broke expectations. From quiet beginnings to a worldwide spotlight, Gout is on a journey that's only just begun. So remember the name, because one day soon, it might be the name you hear right before the world stands still to watch history. This is just the beginning, and if his story teaches us anything, it's that amazing things happen when talent meets hard work and a refusal to give up. If Gout Gout's story blew your mind, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss the next big sports story. Share this video with a friend who loves track, and tell us in the comments, how fast do you think he'll go next?
What I like the best about the program is that it's for everybody. And it's a free program. It doesn't matter how your background is looking, as long as you can show up to the track. It just took me back to what I really needed for this season, that it doesn't matter.
What if I told you a teenager from a small African country ran so fast the world had to stop and watch? Before he even turned 22, Tebogo was breaking records, winning gold medals, and making history. But how? What made this young man rise so fast while others were still trying to find their feet? His story is full of speed, surprises, and something deeper than just winning. Let's find out. Tebogo was born in Botswana in 2003. As a kid, he loved to race his friends barefoot in the dirt. And guess what? He always won. People in his town started to notice. They said, "This boy runs like the wind." His nickname was Schoolboy, and not just because of his age. He ran like he had something to prove every time his feet touched the ground. But running wasn't just fun. It became his way out, a way to chase something bigger than the small town he came from. Tebogo had no fancy shoes, no big stadiums, no spotlight. Just raw speed and heart. Fast forward to 2022. Tebogo was only 19 when he stepped onto the track at the World U20 Championships in Cali, Colombia. The air was thick with tension. Could he really do what people were whispering about?
To his running, as is Nkrumah, but look at Tebogo in the middle. It's Tebogo, he's turning round, he's celebrating, he's pointing.
He didn't just win the 100-meter race, he destroyed it. Running it in 9.91 seconds, he broke the world U20 record. That's faster than most adults ever dream of running. And here's the wild part. As he neared the finish line, he turned his head and smiled, just like Usain Bolt. He wasn't just fast, he had swagger. He was telling the world, "I'm here and I'm just getting started." People wondered, was Tebogo just a 100-meter guy? Could he handle the longer 200-meter race? He answered that question fast.
Just for a moment, Tebogo is under threat here. And Tebogo, oh, he might well have been beaten. It's so tight. Afrifa has broken Tebogo's own champion.
In the same championship, Tebogo ran 200 meters in just 19.96 seconds. He came in second behind Israel's Blessing Akawasi Afrafa, who won by a hair, but that time was significant. Tebogo had just become the first teenager to break 20 seconds in the 200 meters while running a double event. This proved that Tebogo wasn't just a short-distance sprinter. He had the strength and technique to carry his speed through the bend and all the way to the finish. Coaches and experts began calling him a rare talent who could dominate both events. By 2024, all eyes were on Paris. The Olympic Games were back, and Tebogo, he was ready. In the 200-meter final, he exploded out of the blocks. His drive phase was powerful, his stride clean and balanced. He didn't just win, he won in 19.46 seconds, a new African record and the third fastest time in Olympic history. Botswana had never tasted Olympic gold until that moment. The country erupted in joy. The government declared a public holiday. Streets were filled with music and dancing. People wept as they saw the flag raised high. For Botswana, Tebogo wasn't just a champion, he was a symbol of hope. But for Tebogo, that victory had a deeper meaning. Just months before the Olympics, his mother passed away after a long illness. She had always supported his dreams, even when times were hard. During the race, Tebogo wore custom spikes with her birth date stitched on them. After winning, he removed one shoe and held it up to the sky. The image went viral. It wasn't just a celebration, it was a tribute. That moment reminded the world that behind every gold medal is a human story filled with love, loss, and perseverance. Most runners stick to one or two distances, but Tebogo wanted more.
Front, but it is Letile Tebogo, who's a few meters clear. Life Pile worked so hard to try and give him a go there, but Tebogo draws clear now.
In April 2024, he tried the 300 meters at the Adidas Atlanta City Games, a rarely run event with no official world record, and he shocked everyone again. Tebogo ran it in 30.69 seconds faster than anyone in history. Even Michael Johnson, the former 400-meter world record holder, praised the performance. The 300 meters showed Tebogo's versatility. It proved he could maintain speed over longer sprints, which opens the door for future dominance in the 400 meters. Some analysts believe that if he chooses to, Tebogo could challenge long-standing 400-meter records. After his Olympic success, Tebogo kept going. He competed in the 2025 Doha Diamond League against world-class sprinters like Courtney Lindsay and Joseph Fanbola. The race was tight, but with his smooth technique and perfect race plan, Tebogo took the lead near the final 30 meters. He even eased up slightly before the finish line, a move only champions dare attempt. He still clocked under 20 seconds, and that race solidified his position as one of the most dominant 200-meter runners in the world. Winning in Doha wasn't just about beating his opponents. It was about showing he could win anywhere, anytime. Tebogo once shared something few athletes would admit: without sport, I would probably be a criminal by now. Now, he grew up in Gaborone, a place where options were limited and distractions were plenty. Some of his friends got pulled into dangerous paths, but Tebogo chose the track, and every day he trained, he was running away from the shadows that tried to hold him back. Now, he speaks to young people about making the right choices. He supports local schools and encourages sports as a way to escape hardship. For him, running is more than medals. It's a mission. Before turning 22, Letile Tebogo had already achieved 4 major milestones that solidified his legendary status. He set the U-2100-meter world record with a blazing time of 9.91 seconds. He also recorded the fastest 300-meter time ever, clocking in at 30.69 seconds. In the 200 meters, he broke the African record with a time of 19.46 seconds, becoming the 3rd fastest ever in Olympic history, and most importantly, he brought home Botswana's first Olympic gold medal, a moment that will forever be remembered in his country's history. That's not just fast, that's legendary. What makes it even more impressive is that he did it with humility and purpose. He respects his competitors, listens to his coaches, and always gives credit to those who helped him. He's building not just a career, but a legacy. Tebogo's story isn't just about winning medals. It's about heart, about running with something to prove and something to protect. It's about a young man who turned pain into power and speed into history. He raced out of a small town, ran through heartbreak, sprinted past every doubt. And now, he's not just running, he's flying. Letsile Tebogo crushed 4 records before 22. The only question now is, how many more will he break? If you found this story inspiring, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe for more unbelievable sports stories. Let's spread the word about young legends like Tebogo who are changing the game. Who knows? The next great champion might be watching right now.
Away they go first time, and Tebogo's well into his running, as is Nkrumah. But look at Tebogo in the middle. It's Tebogo. He's turning round.
Everyone remembers the finish line. But what if the moment that changed everything happened 20 meters before it? When Letsile Tebogo turned mid-race, smiled at his rival, and still broke a world record. It wasn't just speed that made headlines. It was attitude. And behind that smile was a story no one expected. Earlier that year, Tebogo had already made history by becoming the first Botswana to break the 10-second barrier, clocking 9.96 seconds at the Gaborone International Meet. That moment put him on the radar. But it was just the beginning. When he stepped onto the track at the Senior World Championships in Eugene, Oregon, he again lowered the U20 record to 9.94 seconds. Many started comparing him to a young Usain Bolt, but few expected what would happen in Cali. The buildup was intense, and fans across the globe had their eyes glued to the screen, wondering if this young talent could truly deliver under pressure. In the 100-meter final at Estadio Olímpico Pascual Guerrero, the tension was electric. As the starter's gun fired, Tebogo exploded out of the blocks, instantly creating separation from the rest of the field. By the halfway mark, it was clear he was in a league of his own. And then, with just 20 meters to go, he did something that would make global headlines. He turned to his Jamaican rival, pointed, smiled, and cruised across the line. The clock read 9.91 seconds, and the crowd erupted. Tebogo had just broken his own world record while putting on a show. What made it even more thrilling was that he looked like he was having fun, almost like he was toying with the idea of how much faster he could have gone.
Turning round and gesticulating at the opposition 40 meters out. That is a truly astonishing performance.
People weren't just talking about the time. They were talking about confidence, the flair, and the personality. It was the kind of moment that reminded everyone of Usain Bolt's iconic 2008 Olympic run, where he coasted across the finish line while pounding his chest. Tebogo later admitted it was intentional, saying, "I wanted the fans to enjoy it. It was a show and a reminder of what Bolt used to do." But this mid-race celebration had critics too. Some felt it was disrespectful to his competitors. Tebogo didn't shy away from the controversy, addressing it head-on. "If somebody took it as disrespect, I'm really sorry. That wasn't my intention. I just wanted to enjoy the moment." It sparked a broader debate about showmanship versus sportsmanship in track and field, and whether Tebogo had crossed the line or simply revived the sport's entertainment factor. The discussion spilled over onto social media, where fans passionately debated the fine line between confidence and cockiness. What made the moment even more shocking was the realization that he could have gone even faster. Analysts speculated that, had Tebogo run straight through the line without celebrating, he might have clocked somewhere around 9.80 seconds or faster, putting him in the same territory as Olympic finalists. But Tebogo wasn't chasing numbers that day. He was chasing impact. His ability to inject personality into a race, to blend entertainment with elite performance, was something the sport had been missing since Bolt's retirement. His performance in Cali didn't just earn him gold, it announced his arrival on the global stage. That same week, he went on to win silver in the 200 meters, clocking an astonishing 19.96 seconds. It was a rare feat for a junior athlete to show such dominance across both sprint distances, and it caught the attention of track coaches and analysts worldwide. Even more impressive was the consistency he maintained throughout the competition, proving that his explosive talent wasn't just a one-time phenomenon.
Record, look at the time, 19.96. Tebogo is given the same time, but he's beaten by 6.
Tebogo's rise wasn't an overnight phenomenon. He was born on June 7, 2003, in Kanye, Botswana, a small town with limited resources but big dreams. From a young age, he showed promise in athletics, dominating local meets before moving on to national and continental competitions. His breakthrough came in 2021 when he won gold in the 100 meters at the African U20 Championships. But even then, few could have predicted how quickly he'd climb the ranks. In 2023, Tebogo proved that his Cali performance was no fluke. He secured a silver medal in the 100 meters and a bronze in the 200 meters at the World Championships in Budapest. He consistently lowered his times and maintained his dominance despite stepping into races filled with seasoned senior athletes. It was clear he wasn't just a junior phenom, he was a world-class sprinter in the making. His relentless work ethic and focused mindset became the blueprint for young athletes back home, who saw in him not just a champion, but a symbol of what was possible. The biggest breakthrough, however, came in 2024 at the Paris Olympics. In the 200 meters final, Tebogo shocked the world by winning gold and setting a new African record of 19.46 seconds. That performance not only gave Botswana its first Olympic gold medal, but also placed Tebogo among the fastest men in history.